Welcome, one and all. It is a Friday. Hopefully you got a drink in your hand and you're joining us. That's right. You got me. And, of course, Tanya. It's the regulars.
I just noticed that you got us different cups this time.
I did. I went with some like little engravings and shit.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought we were going to
They're Seascape.
They are.
Well, mine's a Seascape.
Well,
I don't know what yours is.
That's actually the casino in Catalina Island.
Okay.
It's a very beachy type of feeling right now. Summer, we're in LA. It's nice. I'm going to stay in Hollywood tonight.
Yeah, you're doing a little staycation fancy. That's why
sweet.
we're doing it a little early. I'm doing you a favor. Me and Mocha are doing you a favor.
You're doing me a solid, man. I appreciate it.
So you can get your Friday night started early.
I'm fired up about it. Listen, I'm going to a nice restaurant, little West Hollywood rooftop. Doing one of those things, doing the Hollywood thing. I never do the Hollywood thing.
I was going to say, because we were talking about this, and I was like, I've actually done that fairly frequently because I have friends come into town and they stay in either West Hollywood or Beverly Hills, and I do their little staycation thing with them. But it is not something you like prioritize when you live here.
No,
and then
never.
you're like, but it actually is nice to do to get away.
So it's weird when you live in Los Angeles specifically. It's always, people come to LA and like they want to do everything. You can't do everything in LA. It's fucking impossible because LA has got all these pockets. Now, like if you live in a place that you also work in, say you live in Culver City and you also work in Culver City, dude, your life is made. You have the greatest life ever. Everything is in your pocket. You don't need to exit your pocket. But nobody lives and works in the same fucking town.
No.
So, me having to go to Hollywood for work or something, that's kind of a pain in the ass. So I never go and hang out in Hollywood. Me having to like work in even in like New York City would be similar things. Like Midtown. You'd work in Midtown. You don't want to fucking go out in Midtown.
Correct. That's actually a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there is something to be said for when you live in LA, there are parts of it that feel like you're not like you're just in a different spot altogether. I'm in West Hollywood and Beverly Hills enough that it's familiar, but there are parts of the valley that if I go up there, like if Chris and I are going to go up there and do anything, we might as well just stay there overnight. And I truly don't even feel like I'm in Los Angeles anymore. I could be anywhere. The valley just kind of feels like the suburbs. So.
Dude, you can't pay me to go to the valley. I lived in the valley.
No, you know what? There was a
Nah, dude.
There's some cool. We went to the coolest restaurant.
There's a bunch. No, make no mistake. There's a lot of cool restaurants out in the valley, but it's a legitimate thing.
It has to be for like a wedding where you're with a bunch of friends.
I mean this as nicely as possible. Fuck the valley. Fuck the valley. Fuck everything about the valley. Nobody likes the valley. That's why it's the valley. I lived in the valley. I did the whole valley thing. I did the justifications
in my head.
You lived in
the valley?
Dude, I had a house in Sherman Oaks before I moved to New York City. See?
Yeah.
And you said I was... See, you're just as elitist as the rest of us.
No,
Miss Mar Vista.
Well, that's the thing is like, everybody's like, well, why don't you guys buy a house? I'm like, well, because I can't afford a house in my neighborhood. And then they're like, well, then move. Are you kidding? Where I can afford to buy a house is the suburbs. If I wanted to live in the suburbs where it didn't feel like I was in Los Angeles, I'd move back to Massachusetts. What are you talking about? I'm not doing that.
100%, dude. It's brutal. Like, I every single time, like... I get it. There's more affordable places in the valley and all that, but like I'm born and raised in Santa Monica. I've had some pretty good success in this industry over the last decade. I can't afford to buy a house in Santa Monica. You shitting me? You know how expensive Santa Monica is? The house I grew up in is not like a killer house. The house itself, it's 1,000 square feet. It's on a decent lot. Yeah. But the house is not worth what the lot is worth. In fact, if I were to tear down the house, the lot would probably be worth more.
Probably. Well, although this place is cool, but like where we live is obviously there's like, these streets are where it's like all apartment buildings and whatever, but right behind it or on the other streets is all the residential where the houses are. So it's all in the same neighborhood. They're just like residential apartment and condo buildings. So the neighborhood right behind us is known as the Beverly Hills of Mar Vista. That's what they call it now to sell houses. Everything is $4 to $5 million. Everything is $4 to $5 million. Everything. Doesn't matter how big it is or how. So it's like, but alas, it's where I want to live because I want to be able to walk to a grocery store, walk to a grocery store, walk to coffee, walk to restaurants. I want to live in a walkable area that is easy to get onto the highways. And guess what? Well, just
so you know, your mom is watching, and Mama Fox says we're being elitist. Listen.
Oh,
fine.
she should talk because if I ever moved out of Mar Vista, she would throw a fit.
Why?
She loves it.
Really?
Oh, she loves Mar Vista.
Well, Mar Vista's great.
She loves it better than when I lived in Santa Monica.
That's nuts. That's Mama Fox. What are you doing?
My neighborhood.
That's an insane
My neighborhood
thing.
there is like a little bit more. It was. where we were off of Berkeley was just a little bit less walkable than where we are there. If we lived in a different, like where you are here is actually more walkable to like spots.
It is, but it's still like all the blocks are so damn big
Yeah,
here, so it's a little
that's
tricky.
true.
But
That's
also, like, dude, somebody actually wrote is in Instagram just said that housing here should be more affordable. Things have gotten out of control. You're not wrong. It's out of control here, but like this is actually, believe it or not, cheaper than where I just was. I've been living in New York City these last couple of years, and it was for way less, way more. Way less space, way more money.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
even into like this shit. Like, if I spent the exact same amount that I spent in New York City that what I would spend here, I would live in a really nice spot here. That is for sure.
Yeah,
a really nice spot.
Rent wise,
Yes.
100%. Yeah, you can't own things in New York City.
No.
You can't own things in New York
No,
City.
man.
Like what?
You don't want to own things in New York City, man.
But at least Mom Donnie is he's got the
he's
tax
taxing
going.
he's taxing the people that aren't actually living there. They're down in Florida
That's
right
good.
now. Yes.
Smart.
I completely agree.
It's a cool tax name too. It's like the pied de terre tax or something.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is, he's like, we're taxing you if you don't live here and you like charge rent.
Yep.
Like, love that.
Yeah.
He's inching his way into taxing the rich, and I like it.
He's doing it. Listen, we got a lot to cover
We're about to
today.
talk about a bunch of
lot
rich
of
people.
sports to cover, a lot of random stuff to cover, and of course, naturally, the story that will never die, no matter how much we would like it to go away. Of course, there's more on the Diana Rossini, Mike Vrabel saga.
It's the story of the internet. Unfortunately, whether we like it or not, and whether anybody who's engaging with it really likes it, it continues to develop. We got 3 different like news points on it just yesterday alone.
Brutal.
So yeah, we will be hitting on that in Media Corner, but we're going to kick it off just kind of going through a little bit of the NFL draft, the first round yesterday.
Yes. Interesting
That's the most interesting part of the draft. The draft is going on again today and tomorrow. However, it was a really interesting draft. And the thing that I kept hearing from reporters and people around the league heading into this draft was that GMs were not entirely impressed with their options.
Yeah.
This was not like a draft full of elite talent that everybody was psyched to. And that happens. There's an ebb and flow to this. There's certain classes that are more hyped than others, and this was not a more hyped draft.
Can I give you an
class.
example? Even me, who works in this industry, knows I need to talk about the draft, needs to talk about the players and everything. Man, it was a slog. It was a struggle to get myself to even give a shit about this draft.
Yeah.
And I mean that as much as I mean that with all due respect.
I'm with you.
Because I don't like drafts to begin with. I don't find them all that, like, you know, you get roughly every first round, you get roughly 25 to 40% end up becoming Pro Bowlers at an elite level. That's not a knock on any of this. It's just, you know, every draft is a wait and see type process. And I don't like the glitz and glamour that we've turned it into. It's gotten it is now Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
I like the glitz and glamour of it. I think that what I don't like about it is that they keep trying to be like pack hundreds of thousands of people in. Like, I just don't need all of the like crowd.
Man.
Like,
they did the national anthem before it yesterday, and I was just like, all right. All right.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
Roger Goodell's going to go and read a fucking name.
I don't need that. I don't need all that. I like the outfits. I like the families. I like that stuff.
Okay,
I like that of every draft, whether it's NBA or NFL or whatever.
Can I tell you one thing I didn't like?
Oh, yeah.
One thing that I was okay with, and I was like, well, I'm not okay or not okay with that. That's the wrong way to say it. One thing that I was just like, all right, I get it. It's on brand on this, what I'm starting to truly believe is a boiler room focus group creation, Carlos Mendoza. I do not. Sorry, I have Carlos Mendoza in my head because the Mets have been so very bad.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
apologize. Fernando Mendoza. There's no world this guy was not created in one of these like CAA rooms.
I think he was created in the Kirk Cousins lab. Like, it's actually wild that he exists.
So there's something about it that, you know, he's doing it from home with his family, and they made a point. He's like, he's going to be at the draft. He's going to be at home with his family, and it just shows him sitting there awkwardly, just with his hands on his head, staring forward with his whole family on the couch. And I'm just sitting there like, Jesus Christ.
He is actually so dweeby that like it's sort of beyond understanding. I appreciate that. I appreciate why he was home with his family.
That
like,
wasn't the thing. The thing that made me go like, ugh,
was it the ringtone?
No, it was the ESPN reporter that was dressed in her gown in his living room. They stood like in front of a painting and interviewed him in his living. there was just something about
Just got
with
you?
him wearing his suit, her wearing like a nice dress.
It
with
looked
the
like they were going
ESPN.
to prom?
Just it looked like the shittiest prom I've ever seen in my life. I was like, Jesus, man,
It's like
what
if
is
prom
going
just
on
made
here?
you. It's like if prom just made you $25 million.
I'm like, what the hell is going on here, man?
He is not like, see, that was the thing is like last year there was a lot going on with the quarterbacks and with the Shador of it all. Like you need a star, you need like drama, you need controversy, you need those things. Fernando Mendoza for as like exciting as he was as an Indiana champion, like all that, who cares, right? Like he's just a who cares kind of for me. He's a nice kid, cool. Like he's just a nice guy. Great, love it. That's fine, but it's nothing exciting about it. The rest of the quarterback draft class was just not hyped at all.
No.
Hold on.
I won't let you say that because ESPN for the last 3 months has been really trying to make a story out of someone that I know you're going to get to.
Somebody must have been talking about. I was talking to Les Snead because we know Dan Orlovsky has been all over Ty Simpson.
No one else has been all over Ty Simpson except for Dan Orlovsky, who just simply won't let it go.
Wouldn't let it go. And like to the point where I am actually now suspicious about like his relationship to, because I know he has a relationship with Matthew Stafford and we obviously know that. It's so odd. Like the whole thing is odd that like Matthew Stafford's biggest like hero in the media, who is Dan Orlovsky, and then they reach and they pick Ty Simpson at number 13 overall, which nobody mocked. Nobody thought they were going to do that. No one thought they were going to go for a quarterback for obvious reasons. They had other holes to fill. They were looking for maybe another wide receiver or someone on the defensive line. They were like but they reach and they take Ty Simpson, who was like really arguably not even the second best quarterback in the draft. The second best quarterback in the draft was like probably Carson Beck, but Carson Beck has all of the character and attitude issues that people said Shador had last year, except he actually does have them. He's kind of a little pain in the ass. He's a dick. And has like he's a great quarterback, but like there's a lot of other issues there. So they take Ty Simpson. Everybody's like, what the fuck, right? Like, what's going on? Meanwhile, I don't know if you know this about me, big Les Snead guy. I think Les Snead is
I didn't know that.
I think he's the best GM and active GM.
I mean, I would actually, by the way, I wholeheartedly agree with you on that because about, what was it, 2019? We thought that the Rams were in cap hell for the next decade then.
I was talking shit. I was talking so much shit.
I was talking
like,
shit.
I was like, you can't do this.
Like,
this
you
isn't
guys
how it
are
works.
so fucked forever.
You can't trade this many for future. How are you ever going to keep the future of your team? You're going to be trashing them.
And then they win the title. I'm like, well, I hope you enjoyed that title because guess
Same.
what? Your future has been leveraged and I hope it was worth it.
The way this motherfucker drafts,
Unbelievable.
the way he manages free agency, it's nuts.
Made
And I
us all
even
look
give him a
stupid.
little bit of the edge over Howie Roseman at just the preference of, I think, like the way he drafts is so, like, it's kind of wild. But even if you wanted to give them a tie, right? Like, as like the most prolific as far as the GMs in the league right now. So he goes and do this. And I'm like, all right, okay. Because the first thing I'm thinking is like, if like I can't say that I really trust somebody as a drafter, as a GM, say they're my favorite GM in the league, and then be like, what are you doing? Like at some point you have to like trust the experts, right? So, but I'm suspicious. Then it comes out that he might have this like previous sort of working type relationship with Ty Simpson's dad. I can't quite get a grip on what that's about. It might just like from what I was seeing, it might have honestly just been like him going and trying to create a relationship with Ty Simpson's dad prior to the draft. But then Sean McVay reacts to this pick really oddly. Sean McVay, usually incredibly excited, loves to yap, loves to deep dive.
Let's go a little further than that. He is, if he wasn't an incredible football coach, he is Bateman from American Psycho. He is exactly that guy.
Yeah, but he's amped up.
Yeah, he's very.
Right.
But so is he. He is
he's
like
excitable.
He is like when Patrick
Right.
Bateman is talking about Huey Lewis in the news.
Yes.
like that amped up.
Right. And so normally for a first round pick, this was every single person, every single reporter at their press conference who have no reason to talk shit about any of it were like, he looked really uncomfortable. Like he basically said when they were asked about speaking with Stafford about this, that they were going to pick him. He said, I'll keep that between us. And basically was like, he's going to have to compete with our other backups. Like it was very flat. And so there's now rumors that McVay was not on board with this pick. Les Snead went, and they have worked very closely in creating these teams for obvious reasons. The longer that you are a head coach, I'm sure most people know this, but if you don't, the longer you're a head coach, the more likely you are to be working like lockstep and in tandem with the GM, especially when you're an elite head coach, which Sean McVay is.
But correct me if I'm wrong. He did answer a question because the question was asked of him, will he be competing for the job? And he immediately corrected that person that he would be competing for the backup
which
job.
I actually think was like a totally fair answer. I don't think
I think
that
it was
like,
too, but I just thought the way
I actually
he
think
said
the
it
question that of like
and the tone he said it.
I think the question, to be quite honest, was so stupid that
It's a stupid question.
Yeah, like you
Like,
don't.
come on,
do you-
Matthew Stafford, unquestioned.
Matthew Stafford just won the MVP. Like,
Yes,
of course, he's
you
not
guys are
competing.
insane.
Yes. So I think the better question was like, yeah, are you looking to like let him compete for the number 2 spot? And that's not how they asked the question. And so McVay was a little chippy about that, but he was chippy about the entire
the whole thing.
thing.
He looked pissed.
He looked pissed.
There's no other way to say it. He
looked
looked pissed off.
And that is like a few years ago, it was rumored that Sean McVay might retire. Those retirement rumors have like completely gone dead. But like this, it was just odd. And they've had a really good working relationship. Now, for my part,
yeah.
I don't love like reaching. I don't love the standards for who GMs will take flyers on when it comes to quarterback because it's always a little bit biased.
Yeah.
It's always a little, there's like, there's some racism, there's some classism in some of this stuff. But what I hate is when people are like, that's a little high, right? Because what happens is we figured Ty Simpson was probably going to go late first round, maybe like 33, 34, like early day 2, right?
Yeah.
If they had their mindset on like, we want to start developing a quarterback of the future while we have Matthew Stafford, we want to try to replicate the Green Bay Packers blueprint, which is a smart thing to try to do. I don't know why teams don't do it more often.
Yeah.
And you think Ty Simpson is worth taking a flyer on in the first round? If you think he's your guy in this quarterback, in this draft and it's time, then you take it where you have it. You don't need to get cute and trade down to 20 so that the pick looks like it has more value because that's a fucking joke. Like, we got a 6th round pick and traded down and took him at 20. So now if you miss out on him or if somebody else decides to do what you were going to do, you just take the fucking guy you want. Just take the guy you want. It's 13. It's not like it was 2. Right?
I agree.
So like,
I didn't think this was a controversy. I thought it was a surprise.
People aren't necessarily. No, I'd say there are some people who find it controversial. I would say it's 50-50. There are some people who are like, why would you do this?
I thought, why would you do this? But I'm also, okay, you know what? Also, Stafford is what, 38 years old?
And I get what, you know what? I'm kind of like, why did you do this? But I guess my point is, if you're going to do it, if this is your guy, no need to trade out of 13 to do it. Like,
yes.
Because you're not going to trade out of the first round for it. You're not going to get anything crazy. You're going to trade down 5 spots. Okay, I hate when people start doing that thing. They're like, I don't think he should have gone higher than 20.
Oh, who gives a shit? No, I'm going to give you that example because I think you are right. I don't think it's controversy, but the way I'm looking at this is quarterbacks just in general are at such a premium with injuries and the way guys get hurt. And let's be real clear, Matthew Stafford is the MVP. He is arguably one of, if not the best quarterback in the league right now. That being said, it was 38 years old?
Yeah, I think he's 37 right now.
One
maybe?
bad hit, all of a sudden Stetson is your starter, and now this kid's your backup.
And it wouldn't even take that. Listen, Aaron Rodgers was the MVP in 2021. His last season with the Packers was 2022. Jordan Love was the starter by 2023. That's exactly. I think that's exactly
it's a
how
non-issue
the Rams.
to me.
Yeah,
it's just a non-issue to me. The only thing that's an
agree.
issue for me is the way that Sean McVay reacted because I've never seen that version of
that's
Sean
frustrating
McVay.
too, because as much as I trust Les Snead, I also really trust Sean McVay.
Yeah.
And so the idea that they're not on the same page, that they're not in lockstep, but I also do kind of feel like Sean McVay is looking to potentially retire after Matthew Stafford retires.
I could see that.
I could really see that. And so it's like, if that's the case, then let them then develop Ty Simpson. Jeez,
I really hope
damn,
this is going to be their year. I'm rooting for him pretty hard.
I bet you are.
Why wouldn't I be?
Wouldn't that be nice to have a team that has a future that doesn't look like it's going to result in Josh McDaniels becoming your head coach?
Your team was just in the Super Bowl.
And now it's all gone.
No. You don't get to play fucking victim, you New England Patriot fan. You were just in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but Cody, we're always cheating. Someone's always cheating.
Your head coaches.
That's what I'm saying.
Boy, your head coaches love to cheat.
One way or another.
They
One way or
love
another,
to cheat.
And not even just the Patriots. This isn't even the first head coach cheating scandal we have had among our coaches in the last 5 years.
That is not the next story, because the next story is the NBA, is it not?
The next story is the NBA.
Yes, because guess what?
I do want to mention.
I want to mention, too, something new that you might not know yet.
Yeah, wait.
KD scratched from tonight's game.
KD is not playing in tonight's game, which is, this is a wild
The
turn of events for the
Lakers
Los
could
Angeles
very
Lakers.
legitimately go up 3. If the Lakers win this next game, I'm gonna be a believer. I'm gonna start being the obnoxious Laker fan that thinks this could happen, because if they can get Austin Reeves back in round, now granted, I believe they are set up to take on who next afterwards. Are they in the OKC bracket? I think they might be.
Let me look up the
I think
bracket.
whoever wins this matchup goes and takes on OKC. So this might be the biggest moot point.
Well, we're going to talk
of all
about that.
time.
We're going to talk. I think we should talk about that, because I do wonder if there is something afoot with the NBA after what happened this weekend. So I'm looking here. You guys would get the winner of
the OKC,
Thunder
right?
game.
So this is not going to really. It would be very cool.
Yeah.
But I don't see a universe, even if they were at full strength and they got all of Voltron together.
They would have to get there'd have to be a witch's curse put on them or something.
Something really bad would need to happen to everyone.
Which we don't want.
No, and I don't want that to happen. Like Chet needs to fall into like a black hole. SGA needs to be like the ending of that Simpsons episode where Homer at the bat, where all the major league ringers that he brought in for the power plant's softball team, they all couldn't make it to the field. It has to be something like that.
Yeah, they all get mono at the same time for a week. Yeah, get the old Sam Darnold.
Hey.
But we'll get into exactly where these teams kind of land. But to your point, the playoffs have been historically chaotic. I'm going to read you a couple things here. Before the 3 games on Thursday, so yesterday, the NBA posted to social media the following snippet. 5 first-round series were tied 1-1, tied for the most series where both teams won one of 2 games, dating back to 1984. And then on Thursday night, the underdogs went and took Game 3. Toronto clobbered Cleveland. The Knicks again were beaten by CJ McCollum and the gang in Atlanta. And the Timberwolves took Game 3 from the Nuggets, which I love to see because Ant is my favorite player in the NBA. So the uncertainty didn't stop there. 2 more series will obviously that there will be 2 games today, currently tied 1-1, including San Antonio against Portland, where Victor Wembanyama is in concussion protocol, which is the chaos part of it that's not fun. That brings us to the thing that I kind of want to talk about in tandem with the Lakers, which is that the NBA fined Devin Booker $35,000 for going after a ref by name. And the most interesting part about this is not only that Devin Booker sat calmly.
Oh, yeah.
In front of, and was like,
his words were chosen
carefully delivered, sternly and very clearly. He was like, I don't normally do this. You guys know the kind of player I am. I'm going to now call out a referee by name. This referee is full of shit, essentially. He talked about the fact that he watched Chet ask for a tech. Like, he told the ref to call a tech. He watched the ref call a tech. We all watched the play over and over again. The broadcast watched the play over and over again where Devin Booker was called for a tech. They called it one of those unnatural playing motions where you're like, whatever. Nobody on the broadcast could see it. Nobody watching the game could see it. Devin Booker couldn't see it. The ref couldn't originally see it. That's why he didn't originally call it. Here's the thing, though, Cody. The technical foul was rescinded. So he was fined for going after the ref, the $35,000 for going after the ref by name, but they did rescind the foul. And so, like, to me, this is a situation where I think Devin Booker might have actually gamed the system in a way that if I was another NBA team, I would potentially take advantage of, which is, oh, well, we have a bunch of players making $300 million. They're willing to take fines. They're willing to call this stuff out. Because as soon as Devin Booker did that, they had 2 options. They had to either stand by the tech or not. And after
there's video of the tech.
And when he went after them, they can't now you have to rescind that. It looks really bad. And I don't know how much you've been paying attention. I'm assuming you know as much as I do about how much this could have a domino effect on the rest of the league or the rest of the playoff field, because every single NBA team has complained about this with the Thunder, to the point that it's not like, this isn't even like petty bullshit. This isn't like the Thunder are better than us and we hate it. This is a genuine problem that, like, even players like Devin Booker, who generally don't. Devin Booker stays out of the fray. He wants to play basketball. He loves playing basketball. Not sure how, like, competitive he is. I just think he really likes to play basketball. But either way, he's just he's not in the fray in the way that some of these other players are. All of them say this shit about the Thunder. And I think we are potentially hitting a breaking point with what people are willing to accept in dealing with the Thunder.
You know what the problem is? I think the problem is a combination of a couple things. One, the Thunder are so good. But honestly, I answer this question. Are they fun to watch?
No.
That's a big problem.
But part of that is because of this.
I know.
Right?
They are at the foul line so much. And listen, I'm not saying that there aren't numbers that suggest that other people are at the foul line just as much as SGA. I get it. But what is SGA's act like? What's the one narrative around SGA? What's the one narrative?
Yeah.
Lives at the fucking foul line. It just is what the narrative is.
I don't know. Anyone who's gonna make that argument is an Oklahoma City Thunder fan and nothing more.
I know, but a lot
less.
of people try to throw Luka in the same exact conversation.
I just firmly disagree on a lot of, like, I don't know how you can. Yes, there are other players who go to the line a lot. I mean, Giannis during his prime was also doing a lot of this shit. I still enjoyed watching him play, but, like, not that Giannis is out of his prime, but he's just been, like, a little bit in a funk. But, like, this whole thing is just, it's not fun to watch. It's not. The foul baiting is one thing, right? The foul baiting of the, like, stupid little moves they do, the James Harden type foul baiting is one thing. The ghost calls, the Chet Holmgren, that's a tech. I'm going to tell you what just happened, and you're just
that
gonna
was
call
wild.
it. And so that happens.
I know.
More with the Thunder, and this might be anecdotal, but I mean, this is all we can go on a lot of times, than I swear any other team. And they are already getting to the line as much as they are. It's not fun. It takes forever. It's boring. I don't care. You and I talked about this a couple weeks ago. The Thunder are just such an unimpactful, like, team on the way to potentially becoming a dynasty that no one gives a fuck about because no one likes watching them.
It's the most boring dynasty of all time.
It's brutal. It's
so
brutal.
Yeah, it's brutal.
I mean, I have more fun watching the Knicks Hawks. Like, at least these teams are nuts.
Can I go back to topic one real quick? Because there was some point I wanted to make about the glitz and glamour of the NFL draft, because I wanted to say something that I thought was really interesting. Just real quick. Just real quick. Just hear me out on this. Because now that they've made it into Raw and WrestleMania and turned it into, like, the same video set and everything, would you like to know what your favorite event, WrestleMania, all the time that was allotted to the show, what was actually allotted to?
Wait, so what are you asking?
Get ready. Wrestling in WrestleMania took about 85 to 105 minutes of actual wrestling during the WrestleMania. 57 minutes was allotted to just the entrances.
Yeah, that's not new, though.
Commercials, 55 minutes.
Yeah.
Video packages, 35 minutes.
Yeah. See, I think it's been like that for a minute, so I must be a little more used to it.
That's fucking brutal.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, the packages have gotten a lot since homeboy from ESPN took over. He's started really going hard on that.
Just wanted to point that out.
The entrances have been nuts for like a minute. But
that long?
Well, Roman himself takes 5 minutes. Like, Roman's entrance is notoriously insanely long, so I feel you. It's not ideal. Point taken, 100%.
Thank you.
Back to the Lakers. If they were to take on the Thunder, it would just be a bummer for you guys because it would be annoying to watch whatever else. I do like the idea of JJ Redick potentially getting a chance to fuck around and find out. Like, I think if there's a coach in the West who is going to be willing to fuck around and find out, especially with the Luka and the Austin Reeves of it all, who knows if you're going to get any of them back, right? That might try to, like, game the system a little bit. I think JJ could do it. And I think I would like to see it. I would like to see it.
Okay.
You disagree? You don't think JJ has the balls?
I'm really interested to see what takes place.
What does that mean?
The Lakers are going to get blown out in that series.
I agree. This isn't about winning.
I know.
It's about chaos.
I know. When you're saying, what is your version of JJ's fuck around and find out? Just so I'm on the same page.
Fucking around and so like forcing the Thunder to sort of like face down a little bit more physicality, like letting guys foul out, fucking with Shea, fucking with Chet, getting to the podium and letting your guys call this out, putting more pressure on the referees. You have LeBron James carrying a team on his back right now with whoever he can like get to play.
So my question for you is, so just now I'm getting on the same page with you. You think this is going to be JJ media firestorm?
Not media firestorm. I think he'd let the players say what they want to say at the podium. I think JJ might unleash a team that cannot win that series playing their best basketball on a Thunder team that's been treated with kid gloves by a lot of people who have a lot more to lose than the Lakers. I think they have a unique opportunity here to in hockey when they send out the enforcers.
Yeah.
Because those guys have nothing, like they're like, we can't really play hockey that well.
It's funny you saying this because right now I'm seeing a different opportunity that I think JJ
Okay,
can play.
tell me.
I think JJ can do a pretty good job of fighting this a little bit in the media because he's a former media member.
For sure.
He is somebody who is also very well spoken. And if he has a complaint about the refs, he will say it himself.
I absolutely agree.
I think he's going to, like you just kind of alluded to earlier on, I think if the game one goes to Oklahoma City and they get some fouls, and I think he will send them in to get fouled out, the narrative is there. Yeah, put the pressure out there. He's good at it. He can throw a chair, make all the noises he wants, use LeBron as the guy's 41 years old. 41 years old. And he's the toughest one on the court with all these kids that we're handling with that. You can't see JJ doing all of those.
Absolutely.
More than just the foul outs and actually challenging them.
Yeah.
I just see this as a PR stunt that I kind of want to see now.
Like, what
At least I'll enjoy it.
What do you have to lose?
At least I'll enjoy it on their way out.
You go out game one, test the waters, see what you're capable of doing against this team. If it's close, you make some tactical decisions. But if things start to get a little hairy against your team that's already down players, that's already working with a limited rotation. I don't know, man.
That team, slow down players. We got Luke Kennard over there. We're fine.
We got the great and powerful.
Excuse me. Have you seen what Luke Kennard's been on? Have you seen what Marcus Smart
by the
did
way,
the other night?
limited rotation is the number. Like when you're missing two starters, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the players.
We're not missing two starters. We're missing our two highest scoring starters.
Okay, well, whatever. Either way, point remains, your rotation is limited.
I know they are.
I want to talk about this baseball story. Was cracking me up earlier, and I really I love to throw a random baseball fucking story at you and see.
And
what
this
you
one's
think
pretty
about this.
random.
It's really.
By the way, it's funny, but I'm going to just preface. I don't think it's nefarious, and I'll tell you why in a
Okay.
minute.
Well, it's not really like about fair or not.
Yeah.
I'm just always interested in what your take is because
Yeah, I'll
I
tell you
read
what-
this stuff and I'm like, I have been noticing this and blah, blah. So
look forward to
the
telling you something.
Astros almost always keep their roof closed and won't explain why. And that's my
Almost
favorite.
always.
It's my favorite thing about it is that they won't explain it.
Okay, the
So,
answer,
hold on,
real
hold on.
quick, is because it gives them an advantage.
Hold on. Okay. So according to data compiled by The Athletic, the Astros have opened the roof twice for a regular season game since the end of the 2022 season. Other ballparks across the sport
Barely any.
and one in Texas appear more amenable to opening
Yes.
their roofs. The Diamondbacks have been in March and April have opened it 75%
They
of
do
the
it a
time.
lot.
The Marlins over 50% of the time. The Rangers over 25% of the time. The Astros 3.27, which is those two games.
Yes.
They have said the varying degrees of we have a policy and whatever. The Yordan Alvarez was potentially robbed of a home run.
Yes, he hit a ball that was a bomb down the right field line. It was going to be way gone, but hit a beam and went
We've seen
foul.
this before. We've seen this before.
But I was surprised that they didn't have a prefaced rule for that, or maybe it hit a beam that is just not far enough. But usually, if it hits a beam at a certain spot, there's a line. It would be just considered a home run.
Right.
But it wasn't in this scenario, so I
But
have no idea how.
Well, it depends. It's all ballpark rules. So
Yeah.
their rule is that they can literally make the rules
I
about
know.
what gets hit. I mean, yeah, I love explaining baseball too. Like I don't.
No, I love that.
explaining it
No,
more for the
but it's for
fans.
them, not for me. No, I agree, and it's
Yeah.
cool. I like how stadiums have those idiosyncrasies.
Yes, I do too. But also when it comes, so let me just read you this so that you can then give me your little take on
Absolutely.
it. So Joe Espada said, We still want it closed after an hour after Alvarez's fly ball banged off a roof panel. It ultimately remains somewhat of a mystery why the Astros are so insistent on closing the roof. Perhaps it's viewed as a competitive advantage due to an elevated crowd noise element. Ex-Astros infielder Chris Berg said that opening it might have cost them the 2005 World Series. That was a huge part of our home field advantage, and we were all pretty frustrated. But like that has nothing. 2005. This has really only started since 2022. In fact, there was a theory that the Yankees like potentially lost to the Astros prior to the 2022 season because the roof was open. So there's all this like insane stuff that doesn't really necessarily support any of the proposed answers. What is yours, Kodith?
I will give you an example. When I was playing in the big leagues in Arizona,
Okay.
we were playing a game in Phoenix, Arizona at Chase Stadium. It was my first major league series, and I'll never forget it. We were all excited. We're getting ready to play the game, and then the roof started to open. The entire dugout on both teams looked up like an alien invasion was coming down, like that scene in the movie Independence Day when the aliens come out and everyone's just turning, looked up, and you hear a collective, "No! No! Damn it!" And here's the truth. We all love it indoors because we like the air conditioning. We like the feel of it. I don't think there's a ton of truth to it, but I think a lot of players think the ball just flies better a little bit. We like the light being controlled a little bit more, especially if it's during the sun coming down. So like we don't have to deal with shadows.
Okay. I'm going to stop you there just out of curiosity, just a follow-up question.
Yes.
Do you actually think this is because it's what the players prefer?
No. Hold on. I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a second. I think it's partially what the players prefer. Players do prefer it. It's also, I bet it's also for whatever reason, and this is just a fact, Houston's weather is gross. It is muggy. It is gross.
I've been to both Houston and Miami recently.
Okay.
If Miami has that shit open, nowhere is more humid.
You are not wrong.
Than Miami.
You are not wrong.
So
although
I'm gonna.
That's some humid. Houston, it can be very humid.
I was in Houston in September, summertime.
Okay. There is also possibly that, as I mentioned, the sound of competitive advantage. That is definitely something that's also playing into it.
But why them versus? So like what you're explaining is like something that would apply to anybody with a.
I also think it's
roof.
probably. I'm willing to bet there's just probably a cost saving measure that they don't want to open it up either. I wonder what it is. But the answer to almost every question is usually money. So at the end of the day, them keeping the roof closed is making them more money.
I could see the temperature control, but then I'm also like, you know what? It doesn't need to be temperature controlled, and you don't have to worry about it at all. Open.
You're right. You are absolutely right.
It's like,
you're absolutely right.
If we close it, well, then don't fucking close it.
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what the answer actually is.
But maybe you liked playing. So,
but I liked playing. If there was a roof, I wanted it closed. Unless it was like a place like. Because there's other domes where it's really brutal. Like if you go to Tampa Bay. Well, Tampa Bay is not a retractable roof. It's just a dome, and it's white. Pop-ups are just
players hate Tampa
It's
Bay.
a nightmare to catch a pop-up. You hit a ball in the air, and I'm sitting there like, shit, I got a problem. It's a nightmare. I hate that.
Where else is indoors that's not retractable?
Well, no longer Minnesota, but like
no longer Minnesota. Yeah, theirs is open now. Yeah, because I was just in Minneapolis last year.
Like there's less domes now than there were, but the retractable spots you got, you have your
those
Houston's.
Four. I think it's Diamondback, Miami, Rangers, and Astros.
I think that is.
It's
and Seattle. Seattle has a retractable roof as well.
They do?
They do.
Why aren't they listed on the graphic?
I have no idea.
Have they not been opening their?
Oh no, they're open
Maybe
almost as much as possible.
Maybe it's because they literally haven't closed it.
But their thing's more like more of a cover than it is like.
So maybe they don't count it. They might not count it because they only have these four listed as like the roof. But like that might just be because they haven't closed it. I don't know. Cool. But it makes sense. Arizona, and the Florida team and two Texas teams, fine. I am going to tell you this. Mm-hmm. You just give me the player perspective. Super valid. Totally understand. Can't argue it. The only way I will voluntarily watch baseball indoors is the one time my friend who worked for the Marlins gave me a tour of the Marlins Stadium. It was really, really fun. He was awesome. He was great. Loved the Marlins Park. It was super fun. I fucking hate watching baseball indoors. It is so uncanny. It is so unsettling. I feel this way mostly about football as well. So it's not fully a baseball thing. Football has started to do more stuff that's indoors. The Super Bowls are always indoors. So like, okay, or mostly indoors. So it's like, okay, I've gotten a little bit used to it, and it's big in a way, like, you know, indoor baseball is so disgusting. It makes me feel sick to my stomach. And I know this sounds like I'm joking, like I'm being over the top. I'm not kidding. It makes me feel ill. I hate it. I would rather be out there being rained on in a poncho than watch you hit a home run where I can hear an indoor like echo or a clank off of a fucking I hate it so much, Cody. I hate it so much.
Tanya, you know what I love about you? It's that you're fucking insane. You're fucking nuts. That's what I love about you. You would rather be sitting at an open 120 degrees Chase Stadium. In case you don't know this about Phoenix.
You know my rule about Phoenix. I don't fucking go to Phoenix.
Well, too bad. Now you've set the stage. Now
I wouldn't be in Phoenix.
Oh, so everyone else, because Tanya doesn't like enclosed structures, everyone else has to sit a quarter mile from the sun to watch their Diamondbacks.
I didn't say you couldn't play indoors. I said I don't want to go there. I don't want to watch it.
But then that just means you don't want to go to... Wait a second. So you have a rule about Phoenix and during certain heated times of the year, which is very obvious, by the way.
I literally will not go to Phoenix unless it is a forced upon me.
So what are they supposed to do if they live in Phoenix?
Well, that's not... Again, this is my
if you
thing.
lived in
I'm
Houston,
not forcing it on anybody else.
If you lived in Houston and you were just a diehard...
I wouldn't be, and I wouldn't. I wouldn't live in Houston, and I wouldn't be a diehard Astros fan.
You know what? You're just so great at the improv. I love it. So, instead of the yes and, it's just like, so you're a grocer. No, I'm not. All right. We fucking nailed this improv.
I am telling you, here's the thing. Let's be real. The real thing is that if I grew up in Houston or Phoenix going to indoor baseball, I probably wouldn't hate indoor baseball. I grew up in New England playing outdoor sports, doing outdoor sports, going to outdoor.
But you needed indoor baseball there too.
No, we don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, we don't.
Yeah, you do.
Absolutely not.
I lived in New York these last couple of years.
I will tell you this right now. It's disgusting. Everything you're saying, I just told you, keep your humid domes, keep your dry heat domes, but everything else, listen. If those alcoholic fat bastards from the late 1890s could play outside, so can you guys.
What the fuck?
Okay?
Like, whoa. Why do I have to suffer like the people in the 1800s?
Because they didn't integrate
they weren't
in time,
athletes.
And you need to pay for your crime.
No, they should pay for their crimes.
They should, and we should take them out of the Hall of Fame. That's been my theory for a long time. Hey, did you play before Jackie Robinson? Guess what? You don't get to be in the Hall of Fame. Actually, we'll just give you a separate little wing for the racists.
Well, that's gonna be a really big wing. It's gonna be a sizable wing.
It's the whole thing, and then there's like a new part where
it's gonna be everyone that has like parentheses around their names if they had some like old timey name.
Yeah,
it's like old Hoss, or like
They were always like weird ones too. It was like Jerry Dick Swinger McGee.
Yeah. John Locomotive Tex. Yeah. That was his nickname, the Locomotive Texan.
Yeah.
So they shortened the Locomotive Tex.
And then it's like, and he used to harass black men at the local bar. And you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He was known after the side as the lead Klansman in his local community.
Fucking Christ.
He makes schnapps on the side.
Oh my God. I always try to give us a nice fun baseball segment. It just lands in like.
Yeah, well, listen, it's a dome. It's not a dome, it's a retractable roof. I like the stadiums that have retractable roofs. I like the ones that have the option because hear me out on this.
I know.
Seattle rains all the fucking time, man. But it also has a really nice skyline. So when it's nice, they do always keep it open.
Guess what? Their football players play outside like men.
Holy shit. 17 times a year, maybe.
In the winter.
Wah.
Men used to go to war, Cody, and now you have to play baseball indoors.
Excuse me, aren't we back in war now?
Are we? I don't know. I never know
It depends on the day.
Maybe today we are.
I don't know. I didn't check my Truth Social this morning. All right. What do you say we get away from the real sports of it all and get to the media corner of it all? Because the story that simply will not die is still here because there was a new drop of photos and a video. And I got to say this. I want you to take us all through where we currently are at with this Diana
I'll
Rousey
give you the
thing.
timeline of everything.
But man, oh man, I have a question that I don't think enough people are asking.
Okay.
And it's going to be my first question the moment you're done giving us these really interesting and implication-filled type of rhetoric that even I am borderline interested in at this point, and I am not happy about that.
Okay.
Go.
I will go through what is new. As of yesterday morning, we're kicking off the draft. We kick off the morning with Mike Vrabel announcing that he is going to seek counseling with his family and such regarding his situation. On day 3 of the draft, he's going to miss day 3 of the draft. It's for counseling.
Very specifically, day 3.
Specifically, day 3, Sunday. I'm not sure, or Saturday. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what this is about. So, not long after that, it is revealed that there are more photos of Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel together, cozier this time at a New York City bar from 6 years ago when Diana Rossini was working for ESPN and Mike Vrabel was the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. After that, the New England Patriots release a statement, a 2-paragraph statement explaining that they are really proud of Mike Vrabel for doing what he needs to do to take accountability and handle his business and do what's best for him and the team and for everybody and the players and the blah, blah, blah. And they're standing behind him and blah, blah, blah. The usual drill.
By the way, this is all after Mike Vrabel's really great press conference where he said absolutely nothing.
Yeah, this is after, that is so in the past at this point
that
I can't even.
That was
Tuesday.
That was Tuesday.
Yeah.
That feels like it was a decade
Or Monday,
ago.
whatever it was. No, because what was it even like? I don't even know.
Did we even do the show at the time?
We did the show on Monday, so I don't think we had.
It had to be Tuesday, though.
I don't know. Yeah. So, and then because this is the story that won't die, and because Mike Vrabel has mishandled this every way, shape, and form, people start wondering why all of these pictures keep coming out. And now they're starting to dig through old Diana Rossini tweets and things like that. And people discover a tweet where she is discussing that she has named her son and, maybe if there were famous players or coaches. She said players or coaches named her son's name, which is Michael. And this is an unfortunate situation when you line up the fact that they have been having an affair since prior to this son's birth, prior to her marriage. The photos that were released were from 2020.
The video of the kiss was from 2020.
Yep. And so they're snuggled. I mean, the kiss was even like less somehow, because you can barely see what's going on, was less intimate than like just them. They were clearly a couple at a bar. Like, I mean, we all know what it looks like. Knees touching, hands on knees, the whole deal. So here's the thing. This has, my thing as I toss it to you is that it is very clear that Mike Vrabel coming out and saying that this was all laughable was one of the biggest PR mistakes he could have possibly made. This is very clearly not laughable in terms of, you and I have made it, I'll reiterate this for everybody who hasn't watched prior. We don't care about the affair.
Do not care.
It's not for us to care about. I don't care about what other adults do consensually in their relationships. I don't, that's between him and his wife, between her and her husband, whatever. However, you can't tell everybody they're stupid for believing something and everybody's making a big deal out of nothing when the thing isn't actually true. For PR purposes, if nothing else. Now, Diana Rossini, she put out her own statement, then resigned. He put out his statement. And since then, all he has done is just trip and fall over himself over and over again publicly.
Over and over
he
again.
He cannot seem to land in a place of just shutting the fuck up and stop lying, stop talking, go do what you're going to do, figure it out with your family. And this to me seems like somebody who cannot get on the same page with his family and keeps trying to do damage control publicly. And it's falling flat. Let me know where you're at with all of this, because this is a lot and it is everywhere on the internet, Cody.
Oh, it is everywhere. All right. So all of this has been pretty amazing. My question that I prefaced I was going to ask you is simply this. I'm going to preface before I ask the actual question. Someone really wants this out there. Someone really wants
The new
Mike
photos were crazy.
Vrabel fired.
The new photos were crazy. You said it was a video, actually, that they had pulled
Yeah.
screenshots from. So
Yes.
somebody actually had a video, a 6-year-old video of them waiting in the wings to be posted after this was exposed.
I now firmly believe this never really had anything to do with Diana herself.
Couldn't agree more.
This really, 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 someone really wants you to know Mike Vrabel's been doing this and wants Mike Vrabel to be fired, because you do not release that right before the draft immediately, which tells me maybe there's even more shit coming, because next time Vrabel talks, I'm wondering if there's just going to be another
like
drop of videos.
It feels like one of those, it feels like one of those crime thrillers where you just keep waiting. You're like, every time he gets to a microphone, a New York Post comes out. Like,
It's pretty wild. So
Yeah.
here's my question. Who is actually benefiting from this? What's the purpose of this? Who's doing this?
that is the $1 million question, Cody. You and I feel like we've said this, we feel like we're watching some sort of like Netflix week-to-week mystery show where we're trying to figure out the whodunit, because this, I have been convinced since it came out that the person who took the pictures at the Arizona resort did not know who Diana Rossini was, that this is very Mike Vrabel centric. Now, Diana resigned. Her career is on the rocks. We don't know where it's going to go
Yep.
from here. I do hope the best for her in the future.
As do I.
You know, but at the end of the day, her career has been derailed. No need to keep coming for Diana. This is about Mike Vrabel. You're not wrong that this feels incredibly targeted. I don't know who would have this video from 6 years ago. Where did that come from? Who's been holding on to it? Why have you been holding on to it? Why did you decide now? Why wasn't it a week ago when the other things came out? What has been going on? You and I don't want to be invested in this. We have tried so hard to stay out of the fray of it because we don't actually care to judge Mike Vrabel or Diana Rossini about
but
this.
about that,
But
because of how bad it's been handled by Mike Vrabel,
Right.
specifically by Mike Vrabel. And by the way,
no, we're talking about the actual like original affair. Like, there's a lot of people who are morally outraged about that. We're more like, what the fuck are you doing?
like, what are you guys doing? And now I'm at the point where you guys have how badly. And by the way, I'm not going to sit here and pretend Diana handled it right out the gate either. She put
No,
out her
she-
statement as
she
well.
she
and her
also
boss
told us
put
we were
and her
lying.
boss
Yeah.
put out a statement in defense
On her
of her.
behalf, yeah.
And like this was a shit show from just Jump Street the moment it started.
Now, I will say, I'm not fully convinced that the boss also didn't know about Diana. And
Yes,
Mike Vrabel.
I'm not either.
People know things.
But I just got to say, man, it's almost like the way this has been handled, they have Streisand affected them into this thing. They have made me actually care about this. They have turned this into a fucking soap opera because of how they've handled this.
Mike Vrabel specifically.
Very specifically
because
Mike
he has
Vrabel.
a lot more power and a much bigger platform. He is getting onto NFL press conference. Diana Rossini, as famous as she is in NFL media circles, is not the kind of fame, celebrity, power player that Mike Vrabel is. He does not have the backing of a billionaire.
Who
in
tried to
Robert Kraft,
kill the
who's
story.
Tried to kill both these stories.
Yes.
Unsuccessfully. Who is fucking with Robert Kraft? Like,
Somebody
this
is doing.
crazy.
Somebody is trying to really fuck with Mike Vrabel,
trying to-
and maybe specifically, as you're
This
suggesting now,
might
the
be-
Patriots
this
themselves.
Might be I'm wondering if Mike Vrabel is collateral damage in something to do with Kraft, because I don't understand how Mike Vrabel could have created this kind of he's been a prominent figure. This old video has been out there forever. If he wanted to create a scandal, you could have at any point.
Buddy, it's wild.
Robert Kraft not being able to shut
a
down a
story.
New York Post story.
How the
is,
mighty have fallen.
How much money do you think he's been throwing at them? Come
don't
on, he's a
know.
billionaire.
I don't know.
He's one of the richest owners.
This
He's
is
one of the
starting-
richest owners in the world.
The way this is all happening and the way it's all coming out, it's just getting more, and it's literally
It
becoming
feels
more
like
intriguing.
we are one step away from finding out something beyond the whole affair.
Can I actually bring that up?
Yeah.
It's because we saw Pablo Torre was talking about on his show, and there was ways it was being described.
Ooh,
And I want to
yeah.
make this abundantly clear. I'm
right.
a fan of Pablo Torre's work. I think
We've
he's
talked about him.
I think he's really good.
Yeah.
I really like.
He's done
his
great
stuff.
real
Really-
journalism in a world that's not doing a lot of real
But
journalism.
there was something about this particular one.
Now
And
he
there
has a relationship with The Athletic.
Yes, but there's something very specific about how they were reporting this particular portion of the story.
Yeah.
And what was being omitted, very, very multiple times being omitted. And that was other names that were involved with it. Because as they were discussing it, they were discussing, how is this not also a insider type of thing? All these coaches with a outwardly drinking party, head coach drinking party at the pool. And it's not all of them, because apparently there were a couple of head coaches at the other side of the pool in a competing coaches party.
The way he wrote this was, or said this, was a little odd.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read the way
Please.
he said it. Tori adds an interesting fact to the story. As Jay Glazer of Fox was hosting the annual poolside day drinking day at the Biltmore Resort in Arizona, where the league meetings were conducted, Rossini was trying to organize a competing event with Vrabel. Two sources with direct knowledge of this have confirmed it to me, Tori said. So that pool where Jay Glazer was hosting all of those NFL coaches and others, across the way of that pool was Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel. And what she was doing, I am told, was effectively trying to host a rival office Christmas party. It was Diana Rossini, it was Mike Vrabel among the Cabanas, and a few other head coaches. And the situation raised eyebrows. All of these head coaches across the pool and their wives, I'm told, started talking about Vrabel and Rossini, and this was days before the photos broke in the New York Post.
Okay, so here's that little gossipy ending should not have been mentioned. That being said,
and if you're gonna mention it, tell me the head. If you want to go full throttle and tell me
the head coaches and the wives' names that did this.
This is exactly what I've been screaming from the rooftops to you on the internet for 2 weeks now, which is, listen to what I just read to you. The day drinking pool party with reporters, owners, their wives, the coaches, the guys. This level of fraternizing. And we're focusing, everybody's looking like, oh, look at Mike and Diana.
By the way,
what are we talking about? This is crazy.
But that's the other thing that's bothering me about this, because it wasn't Mike and Diana. It was Mike and Diana, and they're clearly omitting other head coaches' names.
Do you want to guess? I'm going to guess. I'm going to go with who would be on Vrabel's side. I'm going to go with.
I honestly wouldn't know. I have no idea.
Hold on. Who's a Vrabel guy? I gotta try to crack this code.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go KOC. KOC.
Maybe.
I'm gonna go KOC was on Vrabel's side. Because this is where it's come to.
I really have no idea.
But I mean,
But I gotta say,
right.
They're
Pablo,
omitting these names.
You are the big guy who you're gonna come out and tell the truth. Except you're gonna just say, "Oh, they said a couple coaches. They didn't tell you whose names they did."
And
so
it's
now we
really
don't.
bugging
what
me.
What he's gonna say is they don't deserve to be dragged into this. And to me, it's like, if you guys are having day drinking parties where coaches, wives, girlfriends, and reporters are fraternizing by the pool, drinking together, forming dueling office parties. This is the exact kind of culture that I've been telling you guys exists, that does not exclusively make Diana Rossini some moron stupid enough to fraternize with a head coach. You're all doing it. Jay Glazer is fraternizing.
There's video of it. But also, more importantly, that's the other thing about it. How it's being framed is really bugging me.
Yeah.
Because they're saying all these coaches over here and Diana and Vrabel over there with other head coaches.
Wait, yeah. No, you're trying to make you're trying to make it seem like they were isolated.
That's a fucking big edit right there, and a few other coaches.
Now,
how many's a few? Who are the coaches?
Right.
And was this more of a thing of a pool party where people were kind of going back and forth?
Yeah,
because everyone fucking knows each other.
Why are you calling it dueling office Christmas
Something
parties?
about this
it
is
seemed
not
a little
sitting
bitchy.
good.
It seemed a little like, oh, they're trying to start their own thing.
Dude, I'm saying something about that really bugged me today.
I
going how
completely
this
agree.
is starting to be reported is not right. And by the way, the person he was talking to, I forget his name. Who was he talking to in that? Because he was because Pablo brought up a thing that I brought up with you a few weeks ago, the difference between a quote unquote sports journalist and an insider. That line has been heavily blurred.
It was David Sampson.
Okay.
The former Marlins guy.
Okay, and then David Sampson looks at him and is like, hasn't to us. No, yes, it has. It has. I'm sorry.
Wait, he said what?
Yeah, when he was saying, Pablo was saying how the idea between journalist and insider has really been blurred, and he immediately kind of didn't like that, and he said, it isn't to us
First
journalists.
of all,
it is.
David Sampson's not a journalist.
I don't know. That's what he said.
Isn't David Sampson the dude who used to be an executive for the Marlins?
I have no idea. I don't think so. This guy's the guy he was talking to is that one of those reporters.
Yes, he was the president of the Marlins until 2017.
Well, the way he responded,
he's not a journalist.
The way he responded was like the way where journalists would be like offended.
He was
by
on
it.
the season of Survivor with my friend Garrett, and they both got voted out number 1 and number 2. I know who this guy is.
I truly
Isn't
have
that
no idea what the hell's going on here, because here's the thing, like
just more fucking entitled white men being like, we would never do that. You're not even a fucking journalist.
This
God
shit's blurred.
damn it,
this shit's just blurred, dude, and it just is. And by the way, I'm so, you and I have discussed this ad nauseum. I'm so beyond this journalistic integrity bullshit. Bullshit.
Like, there's no journalistic integrity anymore at the day drinking pool party in Arizona with all the coaches' wives and reporters. Jay Glazer is best friends with people he reports on. Do like people not understand that? Like, this is ridiculous. And Jay Glazer has got his cronies like what, leaking stuff to Pablo Torre to Jay, you bitchy little bitch. I love Jay Glazer. Like, he seems like a fucking like absolute riot of a person. Mm-hmm. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. And the idea that there was a rival pool party, that sounds like Jay being a little bit salty, which he tends to do. And that's fine. I love a drama, bitchy little insider drama as much as the next, until certain people are being painted like they are somehow coloring outside the lines when you're all drunk at a pool together. Shut up. All right.
Media Corner 2.
I'm actually excited to talk to you about this.
I'm actually amazed by this.
Really interesting. So ESPN and Mike Greenberg actually asked Roger Goodell the tough questions at the NFL draft, on the NFL draft broadcast last night. And it was Mike Greenberg it was a very sort of like, we're going to fire some questions at you. We're going to get these out of the way. But like, he was really asking the questions. He was led into it with asking about the Rossini Mike Vrabel scandal directly. He pushed the issue, made sure he was kind of getting the answers that he wanted. He went directly from that into the Justice Department's ongoing investigation into the NFL's selling its broadcast rights, which is fascinating. Yep. He then moved on to the 18-game season, which is not exactly a softball question because it's very controversial, and then ended with the ongoing labor negotiations between the NFL Referees Association and the league.
Yes,
and
questions.
He pressed on these. He got kind of the like political answers, and Greenberg was going back and forth, but he didn't like let it slide. But it was still kind of fiery and quick fire and professional.
Yes.
Now, this was posted by Awful Announcing, who were pretty impressed with the fact that this was an exchange that happened not only on ESPN, but that these questions were allowed to be asked on ESPN, and that Greenberg was as journalistically aggressive as he was.
I thought he did a decent job. Yes, I like Greeny. I've always liked Greeny.
I like Greeny a lot.
I've always liked this one.
Yeah, I like Greeny. Greeny and Max, as far as like the establishment media guys that have been on ESPN, I like.
Yeah,
like because they do good stuff. There's two things happening here. As somebody who works in TV, I'll tell you exactly what's happening here.
Okay.
One is good news for journalism and one's not. The good news for journalism is that Mike Greenberg was the perfect person to do this. I don't think he's the only person at ESPN who could have done this, but he was one of the best people to do it. He has the credibility. He has the journalistic chops. He has the TV presence.
All of the above.
And he also has the job security. The bad news is that this was agreed to. The bad news is that he knew these questions were coming and he signed off on them.
Yep.
And Greeny, being a good interviewer and understanding how to navigate it in that moment, that's the good journalism. That's the part you don't get from a Stephen A. Smith or some other huckster, right? Is him navigating it the way that he did to get the best possible answers he could. But Roger Goodell knew every single question coming his way. In fact, he wanted those questions asked because they are going to be asked of him at podiums and in more impromptu ways in other spaces. And so rather than that, he said, all right, let's get this out of the way. These are some big hitting topics. We're going to get it out of the way now. We're going to get it out of the way quickly. We're going to get it out of the way with my approval where I know it's coming, where I can prepare my answers as best as possible. Let Greeny cook a little, fine. Now my answers are on record, and every time this is asked of me until these things are resolved, I will say, I've spoken about this. My answer's out there on the record. Reiterate what he said, and he's done. This was not a like journalism win as far as ESPN holding the NFL accountable in a way I think that Awful Announcing wanted. That does not mean there weren't pros to how it was handled by Greenberg specifically.
Greeny did a great job. The fact that the questions were asked on ESPN actually definitely surprised me. I agree with everything you just said about it being heavily controlled and well known about, and it got out in the record. Now it can kind of kill it. Almost the exact same way, I don't know, Mike Vrabel and Diana probably should have handled the whole situation.
Yeah.
That being said, yeah, I don't think it's a win at all. The questions were still being asked by your network, and Greeny, yes, can navigate and cook a little bit, and he can go only so far. At the end of the day, they own the network.
I'm going to counter you just a little on why is about the win part of it.
Let's hear it.
There are 15 people that they could have put into that specific situation
right.
that would
They
not,
did put the right
that
guy
would
in.
not have pushed back at all.
You are
that would not have
absolutely
even had, even if they wanted to, wouldn't have had the journalistic capability and maneuvering to do it the way as effectively as Greeny did.
Can I ask you an interesting question that I honestly think plays in? You can call me crazy for this, but do you think after the couple of weeks that ESPN just had, because how much they had to push so many fake bullshit things with the WWE and the nonsense they just had to do, that they almost, if they didn't get as called out as they were for like the last couple of weeks, there have been articles by Awful Announcing saying that this company has turned heel, this company's has gone full on wrestling. So the reason why I don't think it's a win, and hear me out on this, is because to me this just feels like more wrestling. This just feels like the illusion of journalistic integrity when in actuality it's controlling the narrative.
Well, I think that's. I don't know that we're saying different things.
No, I agree.
I think we're saying the same thing.
We are.
I
I see more of the non-win, and I see
the non-win is
spoon-fitting of win.
The non-win is so much bigger because the non-win is like just the pre-existing relationship between the NFL and the
but
ESPN.
if the WWE thing didn't happen this last week, do you think that question's even asked?
Yes, because I do think that this is like the safest way for Goodell to have done this. Now, I think the more interesting part is when did they decide that this would be the perfect time? Because Goodell kind of is, the WWE is a perfect comp for Goodell. He knows exactly when he's going to get booed, how it's going to go. He plays into it. Like, I will almost credit him. He is so good at being a heel commissioner.
Yes.
He actually is really good at it. He's actually really good at deflecting. He's pretty charming when he has to be. Like it's annoying. Like I hate everything he represents, but he's actually much better at this game than the three other major men's sports commissioners.
Yes, he is.
And the WNBA commissioner, who's even fucking worse than maybe all of them.
She is really having a rough couple of weeks. Couple of years,
I
really.
think that this, and they were like, listen, let's get the Rossini thing out of the way too. ESPN's mostly not addressed Rossini on their end.
I know.
So this is a cop out on all fronts for them. They're like, let's get this out of the way. Oh, we all
did it at the exact same point. We all ripped off the Band-Aid. Now it's over.
They wanted a statement, an official statement from the NFL because they had put one out prior and more stuff had happened. So it worked out very well for Goodell. The one thing I will say is that there's no they definitely let Greeny cook a little bit more than Goodell wanted him to. He had to concede. Pushing Goodell to concede a little bit in that moment, if it's you can call it a marginal win, you can call it a moral victory if you want to. But it is something that would not have happened with 90% of the talent that works at ESPN.
I will agree wholeheartedly.
And so I want to give people who are in that space,
who
have an opportunity to make a difference, their credit, because you're working with so little wiggle room.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Oh, no. I want to make that abundantly clear. Greeny did a phenomenal.
Yeah.
Greeny's great. I've always been a fan of Greeny's. I've always liked Greeny, and Michelle has always liked Greeny too. So she always tells me nice things about him as well.
Yeah,
it's good that there are still good people in these positions.
And I think it's important that people
see
these little things, like you and I, like getting the opportunity to highlight, like see what's happening here and see how it could have
Yeah.
gone if it was
No,
this guy or
you're
this girl or
absolutely
whatever,
right.
you know. Yeah.
But like, as much as
But
I
it
want,
is-
but I
yes.
just see the dark. All I see
There's
is the
a-
darkness.
there's
It
a
feels like the
force.
Matrix type of thing.
Well,
like,
that's why like I'm not nearly as excited about this as Awful Announcing is,
Yeah.
but I'm also I see the part of it that matters,
Mm-hmm.
and I do find complete nihilism to be like antithetical to the goals of like trying to make any sort of real movement, right?
Yeah.
So we have to like, even if we do have nihilism to us, of which of course we do, there's a part of this that I think is like really worth pointing out because people don't know how to recognize it anymore. Like Cody, they don't even know what they're looking for anymore in these situations. They don't know how to even recognize the difference between what Greeny did and what maybe somebody else at ESPN would do.
I know they would have done
but
it.
I want them to know. I want them to like watch these
great
things.
answer.
Watch these things with a critical eye. Like
Yeah.
watch and see the moments where you're like, oh, I guess I didn't realize how much he pushed back there. Like be a critical viewer so that there is incentive for people to do more of this.
Can I actually give you an actual example
Yeah.
on how this is? You can see if somebody's doing this well or not.
Yeah.
Their follow-up questions. Is it a follow-up question to what was just answered? Did he hold them to something they just answered? And
Right.
the reason why I'm saying that out loud is it somebody that's listening to the person they're speaking to, or is it somebody that's just waiting to talk again?
Right. Yeah.
You can just fucking very easily figure out everyone that I'm talking
And by the way,
about.
there's a lot of people who are great on TV who could never hold an interview. I actually really like First Things First as a TV show, by and large. I think that every show has the segments and their takes that are problematic or whatever. But overall, I like First Things First. None of them could do a fucking interview like this. They're not
No.
journalists in that way. Like they're not capable of that, right? There's different roles for different folks. Some people do different things. Their Venn diagrams may be different. Figure out where your favorites are and what they're doing and what they're not doing, and like learn how to delineate that. Like this is just a little part of it. That's all. That's all I
agree.
wanted people to understand.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Listen, there are a lot of hills out there that we think we have to die on, and I think I have one right out the gate. That
Great.
actually will kind of play off what we were just talking
We're
about.
dying
a
on
little bit.
hill. It's Friday, so we like to die on a
We
hill.
like to die on a
Yeah.
hill on a Friday. So here's a hill I'm dying on. Recently, two complete fucking morons in the history of the sports media landscape did a podcast together where they both victimized themselves for being people on the right, or seemingly that they're on the right, and how it's a shame that family members will stop talking, or friends will stop talking because of their political views. I'm talking about, of course, about Stephen A. Smith and what's her name? What's her name? Remind me.
Sage Steele.
Sage Steele, the two dumbest bastards who's ever been in this industry. Well, here's the thing. You playing victim about how you have friends that have stopped talking to you because of your political views and the things you've said politically. My hill I'm dying on is that's perfectly okay of those friends to do so. I have no problem with disassociating with people who are actively voting to harm people I care about, and then going on any type of diatribe to justify such behavior, let alone going on television and podcasts and getting in front of a lot of people and spewing said nonsense. No, I think it's more than justifiable that when you're spouting rhetoric that is echoed by David Dukes of the world and the Ben Shapiros of the world is a real problem to me. No, I think it's more than okay to cut off family and friends that were very close to you for fucking ever when they reveal to you exactly who they are.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you are on the receiving end of such treatment, but it's just wild how there's only one common denominator in those people that are feeling victimized in these situations. Yet they don't own a mirror, it appears.
Listen, it is crazy to me that people are I think everybody who makes that argument is disingenuous. I saw that supposed comedian Jeff Dye did the same thing.
Whiny
He did the same
little
thing. He was like,
child.
I'm losing all my friends because they won't disagree with me. First of all, he starts out this rant calling everybody pussies. He's like, all my friends are pussies who won't even like argue with me. They're all a bunch of pussies. And I was like, hold on. So like, I was like, all my friends. all my friends, who are a bunch of pussies, by the way, don't want to be friends with me anymore. It's fucking crazy. Like you're just a hateful, like a lot of these people, like it just reveals how like hateful and shitty you are. You know what I mean? I used to love Sage Steele. Before I knew what her deal was, I loved Sage Steele on ESPN. She was like one of those women that I'm like, this is amazing. Like not a ton of super success. Like, I mean, there's like 20, you know what I mean? That like when I was coming up in the industry that were like available. Michelle Beadle being one of them. One, I can still admire and want to be like. The other one, I fucking don't. You know what I mean? Like you've revealed your colors. I'm out. Like you're a big old disappointment. It's brutal. And the two of them just being like, yeah. And I just don't understand why people are like this.
It's like, yeah, why does everyone hate us? Because you're assholes.
The crazy part is, by the way, remember when Jason Whitlock was on Sage Steele's podcast 2 months ago? Mm-hmm. Apparently Stephen A. Smith's not so mad about that.
Weird, huh?
That's weird. That's weird that Stephen A. Smith is totally fine with going on Sage's podcast. Sage is friends with Jason Whitlock. Stephen A. Smith not okay with Cam Newton even speaking to Jason Whitlock. Interesting. Just a side note. The hill I'm dying on. I don't want to hear your take on the Michael Jackson biopic.
You're going to get it.
And not yours. This isn't you specific. I have not even seen it. This movie has been out for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And I have seen no less than 45 takes. I can't scroll through them fast enough of people being like, so I saw the Michael movie. Okay, so I saw the Michael movie. Okay, so I'm like, okay, next. Every single one I've watched has either been someone being like, it's the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. It's made like shit. There isn't a single part of it that is well done. It's not well shot. It's not well written. There's no blah, blah, blah.
Jesus.
Or someone being like, this is an homage. It's clearly very much an homage to the greatest like music and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you just get to enjoy the music. And it's like this like really like beautiful experience, blah, blah, blah. It seems like everybody went into it with different expectations. Nobody knew what it was because the marketing sort of intentionally didn't really tell you what story was being told or if a story was being told. And you know what? I think I've hit a max capacity. And maybe this is self-serving, but you know, you and I went semi-viral for my conversation about Sinners, right?
Yeah.
The conversation we had about Sinners and One Battle After Another. We kind of crushed it with that. Nobody is having genuine conversations about any of this shit anymore. And film is one thing, but when it comes to Michael Jackson, there is a ton of disingenuous bullshit on both sides
Completely
because
agree.
of how zeitgeist he is and how important he is to culture. One side never wanted to like the movie and wanted a reason to talk shit of it. One side was never going to not like the movie because Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson and he inspired everything about their musical taste. That's fine. But none of it is real. Like,
Okay.
I'm tired of bullshit. Just watch the movie. I don't fucking care. It's not going to win an Oscar. Everybody relax.
So, I have not seen the movie yet.
Yeah.
I have, however, and I've only read up on the movie. It spans 4 decades of Michael's life, yada, yada, yada. And it seems like it does come to some sort of culmination around the Dangerous Tour. Now, this sounds very eerily similar to the plot, and which obviously it's about Michael Jackson's life of the Broadway hit musical MJ that has been running for about 5 years, which is a very it's a play with Michael Jackson's songs in it, with all of his like life stories. Now, I will freely admit I love Michael Jackson's music, of course I do, but I will also admit watching this play, I was really getting very annoyed because they were just tap dancing around something very weirdly. For instance, I know what was about to be released right around the Dangerous Tour, and it wasn't the album Dangerous.
Right.
So
I think the movie is exactly like that. From what I have gathered.
And see, to me, I couldn't get into the movie at any point because this is a real big thing that you are just not even going to address.
But if it's not, so the musical that was on, like, that was a stage musical. To me, it's like, if you want to just do a musical and you want to have it be like a sort of story woven showcase of his music, and you don't want it to be quite a biopic, fine. If the movie's being sold as a biopic, they're saying there's not even like Jackson 5 stuff in this. There's not like, we're not even talking about the most controversial shit. We're not talking about the fact that somebody might have killed him. We're not even talking about the Jackson 5. There's a lot of just like, I think there's like a little bit of a like, just you get to watch him play the hits and someone do a really good Michael Jackson impression. And here's the thing. I would say Michael Jackson is like a top 5, at least 10, if not 5, like influence in terms of like how important music was to me growing up.
100% agree. You cannot deny it.
Like there are very few artists that were like famous as I was growing up that were more important to me. I was a dancer as a kid. Like this, like anybody who was a dancer as a kid or did music as a kid, Michael Jackson is.
Everyone tried to do the moonwalk and you couldn't do it. Like
he's, and just like pop culturally, right? And I don't need it to be a biopic. Just don't, whatever. When you like the Ray documentary is not super flattering to Ray Charles as a person, right?
No.
Like
it's honest. It's a biopic.
It's a biopic, and
but that's what. So
but
is
like
this.
Also, Ray Charles' music is again another like person who's really important to me. So I really don't need the two sides of the worst coin in the world, which is I made up my mind before I win.
This I agree with. But here's my problem with the movie, even though I haven't seen it.
Okay, but have you made up your mind?
I have not made up my mind. Okay. I'm going to go and watch it. But if it's going to be like the play,
it is.
And it's going to be a showcase of Michael's music, I'm sorry.
It is.
Then this is like making an O.J. Simpson movie that shows him winning the Heisman, playing in the NFL, and marrying the woman of his dreams. The end.
Well, I don't know about that.
That is what it would be.
I don't know about that.
And guess what? I don't want to see
I'm gonna be honest,
this movie.
I don't like the comparison only because once OJ was accused of murdering his wife and got out of prison and got off on it and then went back to prison, the whole thing, his entire reputation only revolved around that. He never worked again.
Are we not pretending what Michael's is?
It did. It wasn't. I'm not telling you right or wrong or otherwise. Michael Jackson stayed in the public eye, performing.
Yes.
He was touring when he died.
100% true.
So then, whether we want it to have changed his legacy or not, it didn't. OJ's legacy was forever changed. His career, his reputation, his ability to walk into a room was forever changed. It was not that for Michael. So that's the only time I'll push back on that a little bit is that like, we don't have to like that, or we can be fine with it, or whatever. You can believe what you want to believe. And I understand why you'd want to address it. I understand why it should be part of an actual biopic. I don't think this is an actual biopic. I also still don't care. If you made up your mind going into the movie, I do not care. And quite honestly, because so many people are either on the heads or tails of it and have made up their mind ahead of time, let's just leave the discourse. Get a group chat. We need to bring back group chats. I cannot watch another person parse through their feelings about something on like a piece of art or whatever else that I don't give a fuck about on the internet one more time. Get friends. Get a podcast. Look at us parsing through.
We had a pool party last Sunday because we're friends.
Exactly. And sometimes we text stuff that we don't tell you.
That's right.
Because
we text
not
shit
everything
is about the show. Sometimes things about life.
Exactly.
And the
like
show.
what I told you before the show. That was a big life one.
Mm-hmm.
My mom wants to talk to you.
Yeah, apparently my dad's haunting her. Because of course he fucking would be. Because she came over here. Now your mom's a little witchy and a bit of a medium.
Little? She might be the witchiest
I
person
don't
alive,
want to put her shit out there, but apparently she's a medium. Yeah. Anyways, she was talking with my mom, and all of a sudden my dad just needed to go talk to my mom during that spot. And apparently her mom goes back to Boston, and my dad joined the flight. What a dick.
I mean, that's not how
my
it
dad's
works.
not leaving her alone. I don't like... How is he commuting to haunt?
He really needs to talk to you.
So he went to Boston?
Who is he going to talk to? Me?
Yeah!
You have to go to someone who's listening, babe. That's how it works. That's how it works. You got to go to the person who's listening. And plus,
my dad's commuting cross country to haunt.
I don't think it's as long of a flight.
I don't know what the dead's travel is. I've only seen Beetlejuice 1,000 times.
Maybe he'll tell you. Maybe that can be part of the conversation.
God damn it, Jay. Just move on.
Anyways, I hope you guys like or hate the Michael Jackson movie. Either way, we did not make it to the bloody sock. We talked about baseball stadiums. We talked about parks. We talked about even Fenway.
No, what we talked about was real baseball things.
Real
not
outdoor
a
bloody
false,
sock baseball.
fake ass thing that a raging lunatic
bloody
who lost
sock
all his
could never
money
have
on,
happened
on
indoors.
some video game Ponzi scheme that I laughed about, by the way, happened.
The bloody sock could have never happened indoors.
It's because it never happened. This is the Regulars, guys. Cheers. Enjoy yourself a weekend. We'll see you Monday.
Fuck Kurt Schilling.
Oh, and also fuck Kurt Schilling.